I appreciate the opportunity to testify against in front of you. As you remember, last week I testified that we have very much a crisis here in Washington State, a wildfire crisis. It's a crisis that threatens all of us, from east side and west side, urban and rural. It's a crisis that has cost our state $153 million annually to fight, and that doesn't include the cost to our economy, our environment, and to our health. But the cost that worries me most, the cost that keeps me up at night, is the cost to human lives. My job and the job of our firefighters is to protect our communities. My job is also to protect the men and women, some of them the same age as my eldest son, who put their lives on the line to protect us. It's getting harder for us to keep our communities and our firefighters safe. It's getting harder because last year our fire season began in early April, and our firefighters, working 16-hour shifts, were exhausted before the heart of fire season even began. Last summer, my team held our breath for 30 minutes after one of our DNR contracted planes went down in the Northeast region, and we didn't know where the pilot was. Fortunately, we were able to find him and get him out safely. We also had burnover. Fires jumped the containment line and fire trucks were engulfed in flames. The firefighters escaped, but again, barely. In 2015, in Twisp, in Pateros, in Wenatchee, thousands of people were evacuated. Tragically, you may all remember, we lost 3 firefighters that year. They heroically gave all that they had to protect our communities. I met with one of the survivors of that incident, a young man who had burns on 80% of his body. His resilience and strength in the face of such a tragedy was truly inspiring. And his message to me and to us was clear. Please make sure our firefighters have the critical training and equipment they need to protect their communities and themselves. The truth is that nothing has substantially changed in the way our state funds wildfire prevention and forest health and suppression from 10 years ago to today. Even as our fire seasons has grown from 3 to 9 months, and we are now fighting fires in every corner of our state. We are fighting fires with antiquated tools. Our helicopters are from the Vietnam War. We only have 7 of them to cover the entire state. And we oversee the largest wildfire fighting team, and we only have 43 full-time firefighters. As a state leader, I can't say it enough. It is our duty to protect the firefighters that put their lives on the line to protect us. Based on projections, we are preparing for another record-setting year. Last month, we had 54 fires in 1 week, and it was just the middle of March. Last week, a drought emergency was declared for Okanagan, Methow, and Upper Yakima. This month, the National Interagency Fire Center forecasted Washington and Oregon to have the highest wildfire risk in the nation, and it only gets worse from there. Senate Bill 5996 is a direct investment in strategies proven to reduce wildfires and protect our communities. It sets us on a course to fully implement Washington's Wildland Fire Protection strategic plan, built with local, state, and federal agencies, building a 21st century wildfire fighting force and preventing wildfires. And it fully implements Washington's 20-year forest health strategic plan, restoring the health of 1.25 million acres over the next 20 years. This plan was unanimously adopted by the legislature in 2017. Our firefighters and our scientists have given us the blueprint to tackle the wildfire and the forest health crisis. And now it's time for us to give them what they need to get the job done. Recognizing that wildfire affects us all, we must all do our part. Spread across millions of policies, the average household would pay just $2 a month to fund this critical work. To put the costs in proportion, the Twisp fires alone last year cost this state $60 million in suppression costs. The bill has a strong nexus to the harm wildfires inflict. The Paradise Fire last year in California showed us specifically how wildfire can ravage a community, our homes, our automobiles, and our properties, and devastate a community. Senators, we cannot afford to wait. Each day our firefighters work together to protect our state and our communities. I sit before you here to work with you to make sure we are protecting our firefighters and our communities as well. I look forward to working with you. Thank you. Please support funding, dedicated funding for wildfire prevention, forest health, and suppression. Thank you.